Russian authorities have raided over 1,600 homes of Jehovah's Witnesses since 2017. In the early morning hours of October the 4th, 2021, dozens of law enforcement officers burst into homes of Jehovah's Witnesses in the city of Irkutsk, Siberia. Several were beaten and humiliated.
At 6:15 a.m., they smashed the window and knocked it out. My husband thought burglars had broken in. He went to check the window and was immediately thrown down to the floor, which was covered with glass. His feet, elbows, and hands were bloodied.
My wife and I were woken up by persistent ringing of our doorbell. I remember opening the door, then suddenly I was forced to the floor. I felt that my front tooth had been partially broken off.
I heard the officer starting to beat him.
My wife was crying and shouting so that they would stop beating me.
They broke into our apartment through the window. They started shouting at me to lie face down on the floor. I replied, "What's happening? I've got a small child here. Why have you broken in like this?" My child was terrified.
In some cases, the officers resorted to torture to try to force the witnesses to incriminate themselves or to divulge personal information. At the Razdabarov home, officers stripped Anatoly naked and forced him to lie on the floor.
I tried to raise my head. They hit me in the face. They kicked me in the area of my kidneys and my head. And then masked men came up behind me and lifted me up. They twisted my arms like this and started hoisting me up from the ground. It was incredibly painful. One sat on my leg and the other tried to further torture me by trying to force a glass bottle into my buttocks. They finally left me for a while just lying naked on the floor. The door was open. It was freezing cold.
After the raids, 7 other Jehovah's Witnesses, Sergei Kosteyev, Nikolai Martynov, Yaroslav Kalin, Mikhail Moish, Alexei Solnichny, Sergei Vasilyev, and Andrei Tolmachov were detained and sent to a temporary holding cell. On the following day, a court hearing took place to decide what restrictive measures would be imposed on the man. Around 300 friends turned up at the courthouse to show support for the man.
I'm very grateful to the brothers and sisters who stood outside the court in the cold for 12 hours, even with children, in order to support the brothers who were in the court while the judges were deciding on the restrictive measures.
It was something special. I immediately felt that we are part of a brotherhood.
It was so obvious that the words of the friends came from the depths of their hearts and that they were right there with us.
The judges ruled to send 6 men to a pre-trial detention center. The violent raids in Irkutsk tested the faith of the local Jehovah's Witnesses. However, they firmly believe that what took place has drawn them closer together and strengthened their faith.
When I would read about what happened in other cities, I often wondered how I would react in that situation. Now it has happened to me, and I have seen how Jehovah has really supported me.
I felt that there were angels with us because of the way we endured throughout the whole search. I know it was only possible with Jehovah.
I was completely calm and felt total inner peace during the search.
After this experience, I am certain that any brother or sister who serves Jehovah today and does so sincerely and wholeheartedly can endure no matter what trials he faces in life. That's for sure.